Welcome back to Romany Pirates. We're in the mountains somewhere.
We're in a place called, I'm going to pronounce this wrong.
Go for it
I
anyway.
think it's Benoyan.
No, that's wrong.
Benoyan. I don't know.
There's a sign
It's
coming up
something
here, so
like
I'll
that.
just show you it on the
They
sign.
pronounce the J's with a Y, so it's a little bit
No, J's are
difficult.
silent, I think.
No, they're not. They're Y's, aren't they?
J.
Oh, you see, we're useless at this, aren't we?
It's a he, because Jesus is Jesus.
All right, so
Benohan.
Benohan.
There
That's
we go.
where we are, Benohan.
Well, here it is. Anyway, pronounce it yourself.
There's a big cave, as you can see on the picture, but not here. It's about another mile back down the road. But that's what it's kind of famous for. But there's a beautiful river that runs all the way through the village. It's a gorgeous village. It's like a tiny, tiny little whitewashed village. Like you just imagine up in the mountains, you know, tiny little houses, tiny whitewashed village, 2 or 3 little hotels, couple of bars, restaurants, not much. It's a beautiful place and everybody's like super happy and super friendly. There's a couple of park-ups around this area. There's 2 in the village itself, and then there's a couple on the outskirts. It's a nice area. It's got a train that runs all the way through the centre that goes all the way back up to Ronda. So this is about 20 minutes from Ronda.
Just seen the biggest grasshopper.
Oh.
I think it's a grasshopper anyway, because it looks like that one out of Alice in Wonderland. But
That's the extent of our knowledge of animals and stuff.
it was massive, massive little grasshopper.
Hola.
Hola. You laugh at you, Daisy. Yeah. Buena
It really
chica.
makes the Spanish giggle seeing her in a pram, doesn't it?
Yeah, they love it. Beautiful, isn't it? El natural. There's a little place where you can swim in it, but it doesn't look wild enough for me. It looks a little bit man-made. That's a nice view, isn't it? You can hear water down there. It's coming from... Where's that coming from down here?
I don't know, there's like a little nature sign up here.
I really want to wild swim, as I say, but what we've seen before, like down in the town, it's not wild enough to swim in. It looks, there's too many man-made things around it. There's pipe work in it and stuff. I don't want to swim in that. I want to swim in like wild nature. This looks promising. Wow, this is beautiful. It's like a little secret, garden, isn't it?
It's so cool as well, isn't it? It's so hot everywhere else, but here it's just
by the
so
water.
cool.
It's really cool.
Really, really nice.
I don't know is it the water that's causing that? That's weird, isn't it? You can feel the coldness coming off of the water.
You can hear the water rushing down there as well.
Like some kind of tropical paradise, this.
The water's so clear.
I know, it's really clear, isn't it?
It's got a lot of plants in though, so I'm guessing it's keeping
It's like a
it
nature
clean.
reserve, isn't it? Like a nature spot. Scramble over these rocks just to see. Look at this. Wow. This is mad. Okay, so it sort of just starts here, down here. There'll be snakes and lizards and all sorts in here. Look at that for a piece of heaven. It really is like a little tropical paradise, isn't it?
We just walked past this beautiful little house filled with flowers all on walls. Been quiet in case you understand English. But all the outside walls like filled with flowers, and we saw this guy earlier on. He came onto the cafe and he just sort of sat outside of this big group of like kind of middle-aged women, and it looked like really kind of rock and roll. And it just seemed a bit strange, just saying, sat down with all these women on his own, just having a chat and what have you. And we've just walked past his little house, and it's him that owns the little house. It's filled with beautiful flowers all outside. And it's got like Metallica blasted out of the, the house in the middle of the mountains. And it's just, you know, you think those things just don't necessarily go together. But, you know, this is what, you can move out here into a place like this, can't you, and buy an house for next to nothing. And what a life to live, eh? Blast Metallica out of your little bungalow, plant your flowers.
Where you can go kind of, I won't call it swimming because it's about 7 inches deep. Emma's just going to go and soak her feet in it, she said. It would be if it weren't for all litter. Kind of lemonade in it. But the water itself is crystal clear, isn't it?
Crystal clear, and it's very deep actually. Beautiful. If you get in, you can pick up that can of lemonade and that crisp packet that's been left in there, look, and you can put them in the bin.
I think I'm going to give it a miss, to be honest.
You have to be careful, look at that there.
I know, go straight over the edge there, look.
That's a sheer drop, isn't it?
And you can't tell if that looks really still, but that current might be really strong.
It'll take you straight down.
Reese is gone.
Reese is gone.
You can never tell, that's the thing when you're wild water swimming in anything. You think, oh, it looks really still and calm. Never underestimate it. Well, we're just parked down here, but I think we're going to move on to a different village now and see what else we can find, just because the parking spot we've got is right in the middle of the sunshine.
Just travelling from that little village down to the next one through this national park. I'm not even sure what national park it is. I'll have to have a look, to be honest.
It's our first time in a Spanish national park, and the roads we've been up mountain roads before, but this is where the famous like 1,000-foot drops are basically when you start hitting these national parks down this mountain. To be fair, like I was a bit nervous when we first set off, but they're actually alright. They're no different to the other mountain roads that we've always done. Even though we're through a national park, but stunning is not the word.
Yeah,
wow.
It's beautiful, beautiful. Big kind of rock faces, and there's houses miles up into the mountains, just these little tiny houses. You can't even imagine how they get to them because there don't look to be any roads. Obviously there will be, but there must be very small sort of dirt roads. But these roads are alright, you know, they're quite sort of main type roads, they've got barriers all the way around. But it does take a bit of concentration because they do obviously sort of snake you around the mountain. But it's absolutely beautiful. I was just laughing because we've just seen a woman walking up with all the, you know, walking gear on. She's got the fluorescent waistcoat on and all the water and what have you strapped to her, and the whistle and everything, you know, clearly like a proper walker. And then there's this guy comes round the corner who must have been about 95-year-old with just his slippers on and his chihuahua, and not even on a lead, and he's walking like up the proper roads on the edge of the road. There's no path, and he's walking around the mountains, and he's miles like from anywhere, because we've just driven, you know, like from the nearest town, and then we've just driven past where he was, and he must be at least half an hour from anywhere, and he's just having a little stroll with his chihuahua. It's just, you know, obviously not as big a deal to him as what it is to other people. Must be used to it, but funniest thing I think I've ever seen. But it is beautiful here, just absolutely beautiful. Definitely worth, you know, exploring this area and coming for a drive out, innit? Absolutely gorgeous.
Incredible.
Just look at this, it's really strange. You're in the middle of the mountains and there's nothing for miles, and then all of a sudden you come across this sort of beautiful little village with palm tree lined streets and stuff. It's really strange place.
So we are parked up just there at the bottom of this mountain. Don't know if we're supposed to park there, but there's no signs up. And then this is the view. Apparently you can see Africa and Gibraltar from here in the daytime. There's a little white village down there. So this, I've just looked at Google Maps, and this is the start of a national park that I can't remember the name of. I've been really nervous kind of going around these snaky mountain roads. I've done them before, but not like this. We've never been to the national parks in Spain before. We always just go to towns, the coastal places. But I said to him, I said, let's just do it this time, you've got to, we're always going on about taking a risk, aren't we, and being free and stuff. So you've just got to do it, haven't you? But I was nervous because it is a lot more snaky and it's a lot more high than I've ever been used to in European roads. But to get to the beautiful mountain spots like this, you've got to do it. And to be fair, like, it took about an hour to get to this first town, and there were nothing that were undrivable. It were all kind of really drivable, even in the size that Romany is. You just got to take it a lot slower, which then means you're racking up cars behind you, because cars can obviously go quicker on the snakes, but I can't do that in Romany. If I try and go around these sort of bends in Romany, she's all over the place, because she's a van, obviously, so you've just got to take it steady and kind of just, take each corner slowly, really. I did it and we're here. No idea what this town or village is called. In fact, this wasn't even the destination we were heading for. We were heading for Emma's seen a place where you can see vultures, like there's lots of wild vultures there, which I want to see. And there's lots of kind of lagoons and waterfalls and stuff high up in the mountains. So that's supposedly where we're heading for. And then we're going to kind of take a breath and then go for the full into the national park, I think. And so, yeah, I've no idea what this town's called. So we've just parked Romany up there, and we're just going to walk down into the town centre now. It's about 9:30, so there should be a couple of bars still open. Little dog there. Grab a quick cool drink and sit there and just relax for a little bit. I've got my trousers on and my linen shirt because it's a lot cooler up here in the mountains. Good morning from sunny Spain, still high up in the mountains. Found a lovely little park up just outside a cafe. We kind of moved the van because we were parked on that little flat bit where I think I showed you, but we moved it further down.
Just felt a bit safer, didn't it?
Yeah, just felt a little bit more in the light and in the little town. So
it was freezing last night though, wasn't it?
Really cold, really cold. Because we're so high up, the temperature just plummeted.
I woke up in agony at night, absolute agony with my back, absolute agony.
So we're just about to head to this little town now to check this out. I'm just looking across there at the view this morning. Apparently you can see like right over Gibraltar and Africa and stuff, but I can't see it, can you?
It did say though online that if there's any sort of fog or mist or like that you can't see, so it's got to be a really clear day.
Yeah, it's a little bit misty in the background there, so that's probably why. First impressions of this little town that, as per usual, no idea what it's called. But there's not a great deal here to start with. And we do know that there's quite a bit here. But to start with, you've just got kind of these lazy back streets. Lazy is the wrong word, isn't it? What's the word I'm looking for? It's not quaint. Lazy, quaint. No, when you say something sleepy, not lazy. They're not lazy.
Oh, look at this place.
Well, that's nice, isn't it? Look at that.
I always like hot run down buildings, me. We've even got a takeaway, look.
Oh yeah, could have got a pizza last night, look.
Oh, it's a delicatessen takeaway. You can just get yourself a croissant at 12 o'clock.
This, you can walk to Gibraltar, and it's that way. Camino de Gibraltar, I presume means the walk of Gibraltar.
It's one of those Camino walk things, isn't it? Is that like a religious walk type thing?
Yeah, I think we're about 400, 500 miles from Gibraltar.
There's quite a few of these Camino walks. That lady that we met in the campsite, she talked about them, didn't she? She'd done a couple of
like
those.
These pilgrimage
really
spiritual walks, apparently. Yeah, they sound really good.
They're life-changing for me because I'd never walk again if I did something like that.
They've literally got everything labelled, like everything that's in the village. And in case you've missed that one, they've got another one here of everything that's on this side as well. Really ancient, isn't it? That?
Yeah. I don't know what all the faces mean.
Does that say, what's the date on that? 1628?
28.
Does it still work?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Drinking water, I believe.
That's crazy. It's very quiet in this town, isn't it?
I think it might be the rest day.
Have a rest.
I don't know. Maybe they've just not opened yet.
Yeah, maybe it's still a bit early, isn't it? Beautiful flowers and stuff everywhere.
Incredible Hulk.
Where? Oh yeah, get him up there on that light.
Oh my God. Look at that. Wow. Castillo de la Guilla. It was built in the 9th century. It's the most stunning place you can see for miles and miles around. It was an important part of the fights for control of the Iberian Peninsula throughout the 11th and the 13th century. In 1839, it had like a full reconstruction. It had 80 soldiers and officials that were like housed there. And then unfortunately in 1848, there was a gunpowder storeroom explosion which caused loads of damage. The church is in really, really good condition, and they have like a little kind of shop where you can buy little sort of memorabilia things and stuff like that as well.
Beautiful, really, really beautiful. There's Jesus there. Oh, lovely place that was, absolutely beautiful. The views from up there were incredible, and such an easy walk up as well, wasn't it? Like,
it wasn't bad,
really
to be
gentle,
honest.
gentle little slope all the way up, so it was lovely that. So we just found this little cafe. We're heading back to the van to go to the next place. Emma says, oh, there's a little cafe there, let's stop there.
Need to have a bit of a rest no matter how easy it is for me, to be honest. But yeah, it's not bad. It's done in really sort of small, slow steps. When I looked on walking there, it said it was like 5 minutes, and I thought, well, that seems like it's quite quick to say it looks so high up. But because everything's sort of done very, very carefully, very gently as you're going up through the village, it's not too bad, to be honest with you.
That were a windy road, minus a hat now, so minus a hat down. So we've just pulled up here at the side of like a disused parking lot at the side of a railway station in this beautiful, beautiful village. Emma's just giving Daisy a little bit of dinner, and then we're going to go find what looks like the best wild swimming spot I've ever seen. We were driving down here, and I can only describe the river as like an emerald blue. It looked like a gemstone. Like it was that clear, it was that blue, it looked like a gemstone. So we're going to go now and try and find that so I can finally have my wild swim.
This is why I tell you, though, not to make plans. This is why our whole marriage is based on the fact that we shouldn't make plans. And then you go and make plans and then you get let down.
So disappointed. So disappointed. I can't believe it.
I told you. So he's tried to get this cold water swim, and yet again, been let down.
Total disappointment again. So I got there basically. Beautiful emerald blue, as I said. So that bit were good. And then I was looking at it and I was like, it were about that deep in most places. Like, it had covered my ankles. And then the bits that were deep, they were like, I don't know. I just didn't want to swim.
What it is,
like really kind of sharp rocks and stuff underneath.
Because you think that we didn't find what were on the Google images, don't you? But I don't think
we
it
did.
is that.
I don't think we found it. It looked like this blue lagoon. Do you know what I mean? Like you'd see in Lion King or something. But
I think it's the way that people film things where it can look deeper than what it is, but also the water levels are a bit low at the moment as well, so that could have been part of it. But we nearly got attacked by a massive dog that decided it wanted to chase Daisy. So that were a nightmare, wasn't it?
All the way down kind of the route to the river, or the trickle, whatever you want to call it, were these massive dogs. Everybody in Spain has these massive dogs, and so they were like a St Bernard and a German Shepherd.
Just go
that side of us. So that
and
was
then
funny.
we came back and went to the cafe. So we're like, a bit disappointed. Let's just go get a coffee. Let's just sit down. So went back, we sat down. And because it's like a remote village, nobody spoke any English whatsoever. So to sort of kind of send Reese in to go and order stuff because he's better with languages than I am. And then this guy came past and everybody was fussing over Daisy like they do. And this guy came past and he was fussing over her. And then all of a sudden, randomly, he just grabbed her gums and he was like looking at her teeth. Yeah. And then he pulled her gum up really hard, like to have a look at her teeth, and she got really annoyed and she was like and like trying to go for him, which she doesn't never do, but I think he hurt her because she's not been feeling like herself on and off, and she don't want people messing with her, and and he went for her and just pulled it up there, so she went for him, didn't she? And I thought, well, somebody came up to me and randomly pulled my gums up. I'd have done the same thing anyway. But
silly man.
I was saying to you, so people in Spain, I've noticed, like they really love the dogs and they're really conscientious about whether your dog's okay. So every cafe you go to, they'll offer your dog water. They're always asking if they're all right. But how they treat them is different to how, obviously I'm generalising, but how they treat them is different to how we do. So they're not like they're babies as such, either they're functional, like it's a dog and it's treated like a dog, and we don't do that with Daisy, do we? She is very much treated like a little baby, bless her, which is probably the wrong thing to do. But I got really annoyed then. Now we're like, right, I want to go. I don't want to stay here anymore. I don't like it.
So then we left, didn't we?
But there's one thing that we filmed and we didn't show you. And the reason that we haven't put it on is because I managed to pick the camera up and press record like as quick as I possibly could. But I'd forgotten to put the audio on, or something went wrong with the audio. So there were literally just us two chatting away and you couldn't hear anything whatsoever. So I can't put the clip in, but we were laughing so much. We were driving along the country lanes, these tight country lanes, winding. And I had my window open and you had your window open.
It was hot, so we had both windows down. So she sat there with this hat, and I'm driving along and obviously focusing on these windy little snaky roads. And all of a sudden, I just saw this black thing go whoosh, like that. And at first I went like that because I thought it were a bird. I thought that was my first instinct, is a bird had just flown straight through both windows. And it wasn't, it was Emma's hat. It just literally gone. Whoosh,
honestly, it took straight off my head. And I, you slow motion, and I was trying to grab it, and just as I went like that, Reese it flew straight past him, and he went back like that in his chair to allow it to go past him, and it just went straight out the window, and we couldn't stop or anything.
Did you do that? I just went like that.
And it's my favourite hat.
So then I said, do you want me to stop? But I couldn't stop because we're a single track, windy lane. But the funniest thing is I could see it in the side mirror blowing about in the Andalusian mountains.
So if anybody's in Andalusian mountains and they find a black hat, it's mine. Send it to me. Contact me and send it to me, and I'll give you a address.
Can you imagine if we get that hat back now? That'd be well funny.
It's my favourite hat. When you find one of those, I found it in a charity shop, and I had a couple before that, but they just never sat right. And it's taken me ages with this one as well, because like the more when you tighten your dreads up, your hat don't fit. It's a really complicated business.
It is a complicated
process. You love a hat like it's part of you, and it's my. I love this. I love the black hat. Everybody who knows me knows that is the hat that I wear the most. And now it's gone forever.
No, it's gone. It's somewhere up in the Andalusian
And I've only got 2 hats with me now. I don't know what I only brought 3 to start with, which wasn't a lot.
But did I not? If you're a regular viewer, I kept saying to you, you're going to lose that hat. You're going to lose that hat.
Yeah, but you did that
and
thing.
And like, I won't lose my hat. And they went,
did that thing that everybody does when something happens and something goes wrong. They go, I told you I'm going to lose that.
I did. I told you were going to lose that hat. And now it's gone, so we're right.
But I can't believe it. I'm absolutely gutted. I'm absolutely gutted. Gutted. Absolutely. It's epically gutting moment. Absolutely epically gutting. Totally, yeah, had enough. Anyway, what are we going to do next? Where are we going next? I don't know where we're going next.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
We're just going to hit the road and we're going to see what we come across, I suppose, aren't we?
Yeah, so we post a video every single Tuesday at 8 p.m. If you're enjoying this video, hit the subscribe button and the notification button, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Don't forget to write your own story.
Write your own story.